Welcome to Competitor Detective IT Services. In this video, we're going to look at one of the fundamentals of making formulas work properly, and that is being able to lock cells using the $sign. We have created a very simple spreadsheet, which you can see here. It has numbers across the top, 1 to 6, and numbers down the side, 5 to 1. What we're going to do is put in a very simple formula here and drag it across and see what happens. So here is our very simple formula. Press the equals, B1 times, which is the star button, A2, 5. And the answer is 5. So if we drag this across, if this formula is to work properly, we would like to see 5 times 6 up here, which would be 30. So we're going to use the grab handle in the bottom right hand corner of the cell, turns to the small cross, and we're going to drag the formula across, and you can see straight away that 6 times 5 is not 3600. So let's look at the formula and see what it has done. We press the F2 button on the keypad to expose the formula. So the formula says G1, which is correct, times F2, which is wrong. It has used the cell next to it. So it looks like the formula is being dragged along when we copied it. Let us just try another one to make sure that's the case. We'll try this cell here, D2, press the F2 button again. So D1 is correct, C2, it has done exactly that, it's dragged it across. And although this cell here has the correct answer, 2 times 5 is 10, it's not because the formula is correct. The formula C1 is correct, but B2 is this cell here. So what we want to do is something very simple, is we want to lock that cell A2. So let's go back to this formula here, press F2. If we put the cursor in between the A and the 2, we can insert something here to lock column A. When you use another one of the function buttons on the keypad, F4, and when you press F4, up will pop $2 either side of the formula. $A locks column A, $2 locks row 2. If we press the F4 key again, it will now do this. Column A can move, but row 2 is locked. We press the F4 again. In this case, column A is locked, but row 2 can move. And F4 again, and it disappears. So what we want to be able to do here is, if we use this one, the cell is locked completely. That won't work, because when we drag the cell down, that'll still be referring to this 5. So try this one. Okay, so this is locking the row. Well, that won't work because the A is still going to move as it is at the moment, so that isn't any good. And press F4 again, but this will work. It's locking column A. So let's use that for the moment, and we'll drag it across. Look, that has worked. Let's just have a look at the formula, this end. Press F2 again. G1 times A2. It has locked column A. But we're going to have a problem now because we want to copy this formula down here. And that hasn't worked. Because F2 again, B5 is taking the one above. Exactly the same way it's working with the rows as it worked with the columns. So we're going to have to do something with the B5 formula. So let's go back to the first one, press F2, and we'll put the cursor in between the B and the 1 and press F4. That's locking it, that's not any good. That is locking the row. Is that what we want to do? Yes, we do want to do that. We want to lock row 1. We don't want that. We don't want to lock the column because we're moving down, not across. So we'll try locking the row. Now let's try that. That has worked. And we'll now drag the whole lot of formulas all the way across, and you will see, using the grab handle at the bottom, you will see that that is correct. 1 times 6 is 6, and this one here, 6 times 3 is 18. That is a very short introduction as to how dollar signs work in Excel. Thank you for watching, and please look out for other videos in this series, including VLOOKUPs and index match, and problems associated when importing data into Excel or Access.